25th meeting of the Huntington Township Planning Commission to order. We have the minutes from the October meeting. Is there any additions or corrections to those minutes as presented?
Not for me.
No. Not hearing any, I'll entertain a motion to accept October minutes for record.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Jeff, second.
I'll second that.
Second by Marvin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay. Gus, your
All
report.
right, I can't, well, I might be able to do it now. My computer is not doing what it's supposed to do.
Gus Scott not coming tonight?
I expect them,
I hear
Oh,
that. Name yet?
Yeah,
There
maybe.
goes Scott.
that's Scott.
Read the sirens.
All right. I issued a bunch of permits. Stuff. First one I want to go over is in Friedenwald.
Huh, we know that?
Yeah, we issued a waiver to myself. We replaced the siding on the gable end. I couldn't find a painter to paint it. Then I issued a permit to Blue Mountain Trim, that's Dave Lichtenberger on South Ridge Road. He's got the pigs and the sheep out there, and he's has two sheds for the animals, and he's putting a roof over it, 16 by 24 to keep them out of the sun. And he's building a 20-foot by 30-foot office next to his shed. He issued a permit to Joe Sanders at 105 Tracy Drive. He's putting 38 rooftop solar panels on the roof. And then I issued a permit to Garmin Builders for 114 Tammy Drive for a two-story single-family home, 2,285 square feet. They issued
Can you scroll down, Gus?
oh, I'm sorry.
Scroll down.
Yeah. All right. Here's Garmin. I issued a well permit to Jake Bates at 185 Goodyear Road. He has to drill a well. The house has a spring now, and the mortgage company doesn't like that. So he has to do a well. I issued a building permit to Reinhardt for solar panels, 14 of them on the roof on the house at 60 Tracy Drive. And I issued an occupancy permit to Clarence Shiflett at 1486 Gun Club Road. He put rebuilt a deck on the back of the house. It's L-shaped. Then I did issue a permit to Garmin Builders for 122 Tammy Drive for a single-family house. And an occupancy permit, I'm sorry, that was the occupancy permit for 122 Tammy Drive for a single-family home. And then I issued a occupancy permit to Hillbots at 50 Wendy Drive. They replaced the roof on their house. And I issued a permit to Kirby Martin at 10 Wireman's Mill Road. And they're going to remove the existing laundry, which is an add-on to the house, and pour a concrete slab and build a new laundry and a kitchen.
Can you scroll down again?
Sorry. Yeah. That's all.
That's it?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah,
Clarence Shiflett,
yeah,
what's,
Yeah, you originally said that was a deck.
it is. It's a deck for the back of the house.
Why does it say it's a two-story, single
I
family
think that's
dwelling?
supposed to be
Yeah.
down to the next line.
Right,
Oh, that's the Tammy Drive.
yeah.
Okay, so this is a
Sorry about that.
deck.
My computer hasn't been working the way it's supposed to. But, that's all the permits. The only other thing I have to report is that, I attended the Cato meeting, which is the annual meeting for, that's the Association of Adams County Association of Township Officials. I was the only one that attended from Huntington Township. It wasn't a very interesting meeting anyway. The chief speaker was handed a microphone and basically laid it down so you couldn't hear him. Real public speaker. But anyway, he mentioned two things that have been through PSATs, and both of them were defeated. A while back I mentioned to you that a number of developers, large ones in the state of Pennsylvania, have were trying to overcome local zoning. There's a housing shortage, price-wise, whatever. There aren't enough homes in Pennsylvania. And so these guys are arguing that it's because of local zoning. So they wanted the state to pass a state law that would allow them to petition to overcome local zoning regs and build homes. The problem with homes is, for instance, in our township, how big a lot you need for a house in Adams County? That's for on-site water and sewer,
Yeah.
which is what you need, with one exception of Flowing Springs. There you could have a quarter-acre home, and then you can do a lot more. But in the state of Pennsylvania, not everybody has water and sewer. And so that screws up the equation. The only solution, if you look at our map, and you know what our township is like, we have a lot of properties that don't perk. So water and sewer would make sense, but we don't have a sewer plant. We don't even have a good place to discharge to, except Bermudian Creek. So it would make sense for us to participate in a regional comprehensive plan. That way our township can stay basically the way it is. We don't have any traffic lights. We rely on stop signs. We have very little infrastructure as far as stormwater, storm sewers. The Flowing Springs, I think, is the only one that has any. And you can't find a fire hydrant. So there are all these things that affect this, and hopefully the money won't buy the legislature as it has in the past years. And that's one thing. The other thing is,
So that's still pending?
well, it's coming back.
Okay.
It got defeated in 2024.
That's what I thought.
It's coming back in 2025. We'll see what it does. And that's about all.
You
that
started
I
to
have.
say there's another thing. There were two things at the meeting.
Yeah, the other thing's about stormwater, and, that's a problem for us too. If you go outside your house, anyone have a curb at the front of the house? We don't. So, we have gutters that we maintain, the township maintains them. If we have to replace a culvert under your driveway, we'll ask you to pay for that. But half the roads in this township are township roads, and Chuck isn't here tonight, but, we replace culverts under the roads in this township, and that's the township expense. And you gotta remember, we don't collect, township real estate tax. So, what the states basically has said and is gonna be enforcing is that if you have to put a culvert under a state road, that's not the developer who's gonna have to get the permit, it's the townships. Because developers go after they're done with their project, and then the state's stuck putting in huge stormwater plans under the road.
State doesn't wanna maintain
No,
But the developer's gonna be paying for it still.
to
In that
put it
scenario.
in initially,
Yeah.
but
Then
Some
the
of those-
township maintains it. And then replacing it will be the township when it fails eventually?
that's exactly right.
Unless they have an agreement with the township.
Who's the they? The developer?
The developer, property owner, whomever.
Well, we gotta look for those in the future then.
No.
That's the way it's been actually for years. Anytime you do need an HOP for public infrastructure like that, you have to go through the municipality. They have to be the applicant.
Yeah, I'm not worried so much about being the applicant, I'm worried about paying.
Yeah.
Andy, you were gonna say something?
There are, if you go back to the developments that were around from the late 80s, early 90s, before most modern ordinances in the county, and modern stormwater designs, there's an awful lot of designs that just culverted over and the roads go over things and that wouldn't be designed today. There's a lot of little drainage things in developments when roads have been accepted that do not have agreements, that are maybe 30, 40 years old. They're not that far away from needing work, and there's no agreements out there to maintain it. There's might not even be sure who owns the stuff. Now again, you guys only have one, but I'm thinking like Jermaine or Cumberland or Conawago that has a ton.
Yeah.
That are in that era that might not, there might be 4 or 5 in one development.
Yeah.
That might all fail.
But the township's gonna be paying for it, your point.
Mm-hmm.
And we know they're not inexpensive.
Mm-mm. No, and some of those big ones, like in front of a shopping center, that's $250,000.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Well, isn't our biggest problem, I don't wanna take much time, but our biggest problem is parking. I mean, isn't that generally our, from what I have seen with even an acre and a half, usually isn't enough space to park.
some places, it's not.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of that legislation that Gus mentioned
is addressing.
fails to recognize. It talks about allowing housing based on zoning and property, and fails to account for the differences around the state in terms of perk testing,
Yeah.
geology, and things like that, where you say it might take 2 acres of perk. Well, what if you're in an area with high nitrates? Now you're talking 5, 6.
Yeah.
Who know even more
Yeah,
for one unit. That, I mean, that's not, the land alone is gonna make that not what they consider affordable.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
that's basically what I've got. As far as JVI goes, they have an extension with us till February the 6th. Dave Abowski sent me a memo that he wanted to table the plan that they submitted to us until next month. They're still doing some testing up there, so, but they don't have to do that. We don't have to take action. They have already approved an extension for that.
They were having some boring issues, right? Wasn't that the delay
That,
specifically?
the word that he used is,
I think they were doing some boring.
they call it geotechnical testing.
Yeah,
Is that for the slope stability? or-
What?
Is that for the slope stability? For the fill? For the big fill area?
I think they were doing the boring.
Yeah.
that's what I thought it was. Do you
Mhm.
know?
I don't know exactly what it's called.
Okay.
A fairly large span up there now.
Yeah,
So, that's all I got.
I know it's not on the agenda, but the Scott, you have.
He's got a report, I got it here for you.
All right, just not under.
it's not under old business.
Yeah.
Don't I have it on there?
No, that's all right. Well,
Is, I know I ask this every meeting, is the White Church Road property under contract? It was supposed to go under contract, I haven't heard anything.
I wasn't here last Thursday and no one got back with me. It was supposed to be settled on last Thursday,
That's what I thought.
but I haven't heard anything, but I'll find out tomorrow.
Wouldn't surprise me if it got delayed.
Yeah.
Oh,
is that
whatever
Tam?
you wanna call it.
Yeah,
Tam Water?
Yeah.
Thanks for buying it.
Apparently, yeah.
yeah, there you go, Scott.
Scott, did you email me that? Okay, but I forgot my phone anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if you would then.
Sure. Greenbrier Road's under construction. Myerstown Road, the permit application submitted, the anticipated bid date in March 2025. Bowling Road, received comments today, and I'm gonna resubmit that right away. Andy's here for updating us on the subdivision and development revisions. And JVI is our only plan under review currently.
Roughly how long do they expect that Greenbrier to wrap up?
Well, the majority of it is gonna be done in about 5-6 weeks before the end of the year. The majority of it. And then we're gonna have to wait till the spring for paving and getting grass to grow and stabilized areas, stuff like that.
So basically, you'll be able to use it in 5-6 weeks and then finish in the spring.
Yes.
We need to keep an eye, JBI, it's February the 6th, so we have to, does the planning board have to recommend back to
Well, they're gonna have to submit another extension
Yeah.
because it doesn't look like they're gonna be there with it.
supervisors will act in beginning of January, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna have to submit an extension in January
Organization.
because
So we'll need to act in, at the December meeting on it. Okay.
Gotta make note of
As long as they know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, Andy,